What's going on, guys? It's Jamie. How you doing? Hope you guys are having an awesome day, week, month, year, decade, life. Drop a comment. Let me know if you happen to be catching this. I'd love any engagement whatsoever. Just helps me know that I'm on the right track with producing content that helps you guys out. Hit the like button or heart button. Drop a comment. That would be super, super, super appreciated. So, a question was raised recently, and it was a really great question. How do you get in front of your ideal avatar? How do you get them to engage in your post more specifically? And so, I thought what I'd do is show you guys how to very, very simply, very, very easily, and in not much time at all per day, you can get in front of your ideal customer avatar. And in doing so, they're going to see more of your content, they're going to engage more in your stuff, and more importantly, when you're putting out content that resonates with their problems, with their frustrations, and you can have and demonstrate that you have a clear solution, you're going to get people that metaphorically raise their hand that want some information about your products and services and offerings, things like that, right? So, really, really simple. Um, there's no, first and foremost, I'm going to bust a little myth here. If you're doing, say, Facebook organic marketing, and it doesn't matter where you're doing this stuff, if it's Instagram, LinkedIn, blah, 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 there's no pot of gold over the rainbow where all the perfect leads sit, right? So wipe that from your mind right away, because I think there's a bit of a misnomer where people assume, oh, well, what's the best group to get leads from? And it doesn't really work like that. If you want more information on this, I actually have a full-blown 90-minute workshop on lead generation. I'm going to leave a link below. You're welcome to check that out. It's a whopping $9. Goes through all sorts of detail about how to get in front of your avatar and actually how to establish your authority in front of them so that they do become a highly qualified prospect, right? If you're interested in that, I'll leave a link below. Now, why is the where you're getting them from not so important? Now, there is going to be a couple of quantifiers here. You need to know that where you're sourcing your leads from, there tends to be a common pain point, frustration, or desire. Okay, so that's the first thing. And so what people tend to think is, okay, well, if I go into this particular Facebook group, all the leads in there are amazing. I'm going to, just like get them to buy my high ticket stuff really, really easily. That's it, right? But if we assume that that doesn't exist, there's no such thing as Facebook groups. So you don't know where these folks are hanging out. What are some alternatives? Facebook pages, right? Is there anything that you can search that might demonstrate that someone's interested in the same stuff as you? I'll tell you a really simple one. This guy behind me, guess what? If I was to go over to ClickFunnels, which I think the affiliate group's now been shut down, but this is a really simple way I can do it. Who else is involved in ClickFunnels that we know of? Russell Brunson, this guy right here. Right? I can go onto his page. I can figure out who's commenting and who's active on his page. I can start to add some of these folks because they have already demonstrated that they know, like, and typically will respect Russell Brunson. Now, I might have a slight advantage here in terms of this thing, but not really. Like, it doesn't matter. It's the point that these people have metaphorically raised their hands to imply that they are interested in some sort of online marketing thing, right? There's a whole bunch of other folks that we can do the same thing for. Just watch this awesome video from this guy, Ty Lopez, right? Another one, public figure. Dude is an interesting character, right? Same deal. Who's commenting? Can I add these people as friends? What type of comments are they leaving on his content? Can I befriend some of them? Are they interested? Now, this one's going to be a little bit broader because Russell Brunson is very much in the I create funnels, and this is how you build an online business around funnels. Ty is a little bit broader in terms of what he does. He's involved in all sorts of businesses, things like that. So this might not be the perfect example, but it is just an example. Who else have we got? Top of my head. Who else has raised lately? Lewis Howes. Well, Lewis Mocker is another one, actually. Slightly smaller audience, but this guy's really classic. He's an Australian dude. I was part of his membership for a very long time. Just crushes it. He's a little bit polarizing, which is, I think, by design as part of his brand. But he's not super active these days as well. So, bad example. But again, the point being is that you find folks that are in your industry that are solving similar problems to yourself, or at least have an audience that's based off of people that are interested in the same stuff, right? Meaning that there's going to be commonalities between these people. The commonalities being that they are interested in the same stuff, they typically will experience the similar or same issues in their business and life and all that type of stuff, whatever your product resolves for. So that's number one. That's basically lead sourcing. And again, you can go into groups. Now, the other thing I'll throw in here really quickly as well, and I've been on both sides of this. Great Grand Prix, Melbourne last weekend. Anyways, I've been on both sides of this. So there is some school of thought that if you are trying to sell information-based products, such as coaching, affiliate offers, etc., that if you are going to go find people who have purchased something of a high ticket nature before, it's going to be easier to convert those people into another high ticket program, whether it be coaching or anything else. Now, that is correct. Yes, that is true. It is going to be easier because they've already gone through the emotional roller coaster that you have to go through when you are purchasing your first high ticket offer for the first time, right? There's a thing that changes in your brain when you invest 5 or 10 grand in a mentor. Something just clicks. It's just way different. But once you've done it once, it's a pathway that's already been driven before you. So you're kind of familiar with it. And you also have what we call sunk cost bias. Now that means that if you've gone so far on a journey, human nature being what it is, you have momentum, you're less likely to give up at that point, right? So you have sunk cost bias, you're more likely to go forward. Therefore, you're going to keep trying to find solutions to the problems that are coming up in front of you. And here's the thing with any business or anything that you're doing in life, no matter what level you get to in the playing field, there's going to be new problems that occur every single step of the way, right? So therefore, the mentor that got you there, they might not be able to get you there, right? The program that you invest in here might not get you to there. I've experienced it. Everyone I know in the online space that's done anything has experienced it. It's just one of those things, right? So be prepared to continually invest in yourself if you want to grow, right? And so therefore, like I say, I'm an example of this. If you were to find these types of groups, it can be lucrative because these people have all metaphorically raised their hands and said, I've got this problem. Yeah, I'm trying to get it solved. And this is the pathway forward. Now, as I say, I've also been on the other side of that as a product and program vendor for many years. And it's also a real fucking pain in the ass. And what tends to happen is people will join, your program, for example, and they're not there to actually go through the material and show up to calls and get help with what they need. They're there to basically pawn your leads, pretty much. And so what often happens, and we noticed it with SA originally, and then once people started copying that, and then eventually when I started Ultimate Marketing Mastermind, same sort of thing happened. I could see people jumping in, and I'd see them just immediately befriending everyone in the community. And I'm like, I know what you fuckers are doing. And I don't mind. I mean, what can you do? You can't force people to do something, right? And I am going somewhere with this, but I think there's a significant difference between befriending people and nurturing a relationship over a long time versus don't follow that pathway. These guys suck. Jamie sucks. Go over here. I've got this thing that my mentor has created. You should buy it, right? Now, the problem is people are really gullible, and so they often would lose focus, and then I could see them just veering off. I'm like, why can't you focus for 5 seconds? Don't let people come in and deviate your attention to other things, right? And so anyway, that's the two sides to that. So my point being is that if you can find a buyer pool, yeah, it does really work. For myself, from an ethical basis, I try not to go down those pathways because I think it kind of gets a bit lazy marketing. And then you start to, or people tend to start playing that game where they're not actually doing what's best in the best interest of each individual. They're just trying to sell their thing. So therefore, sometimes some negative stuff comes out oh, this program doesn't work anymore. This thing doesn't work. It all fucking works, right? Anyways, so that's it. Little ramble. Right. The question originally was, how do I get in front of my avatar? So we've now covered very loosely, a little bit of lead stuff. How do you generate leads? This needs to be a constant thing, right? So just really quickly before I go into a couple other things here I want to cover, you always at all times need to be adding to your top of funnel. So as part of our marketing infrastructure, we've got top, middle, and bottom of funnel. So top, MOF, and BOF, right? Now, what that means is that top of funnel, these are people that are brand new to you. They don't know who you are. They're kind of who's this freaking weird guy that says stuff and has a weird accent, right? So they don't know you, and so you've got to build trust. You have to build awareness and trust, and express yourself and be yourself. Which, interestingly enough, you will end up being different than the crowd by purely being your authentic self, which is kind of cool, right? So top of funnel. Now you're going to get some folks that really like you. That's cool. They're going to consume more of your stuff, especially if you're able to get them some results and get them the momentum built. So therefore, they're going to go through middle of funnel and then bottom of funnel, which is close to buying at that point. Some folks won't like you. They won't resonate with the way that you communicate. They won't like the way that you look. They won't like the way that you say certain things. They might have heard something good or bad about you online, and they will believe it, right? And so that's part of the game. Don't concentrate on that too much, right? It's part of the game. But anyway, if you can look past that, always be feeding the top of your funnel. Always get more leads as much as you can, right? So really, really simple. If you've added some very targeted prospects to your top of pipeline, how do we get in front of these folks? Right. All we need to do is come over here to friends. Now, this is on the assumption that you're using Facebook. You certainly don't have to, but that's just one way to do it. Question for you. So it's a metaphorical, no, a sort of, what do you call it? Rhetorical question. But the question I pose to you is: it easier to sell to someone that has not expressed an interest in your solution, or easier to sell to someone who has expressed an interest in your solution? If they raise their hand and say, yeah, you know what, that seems interesting, not necessarily going to become a buyer, but at least they've gone, I'd like some info about that. That means that they're open, right? Now, I'm saying that because if you can get in front of these folks, you get people to raise their hands, then you don't need to kind of chase everyone all the time, right? But in order to get that awareness, we need to kind of do a few things. So if we come over here to friends, so obviously got friend requests, go through some of these, avoid the bots, avoid the fake ones as much as you can. If they're like, they look too good to be true, they probably are. Have a look. I'm not even going to go through this right now, but what we do is we come over here to custom lists. So what I would do on a daily basis, not so much now because my business model's evolved somewhat, and I'm now kind of spreading myself a little bit more onto Instagram and LinkedIn. And my MO from many years was basically get a friend, trying to get them into my group, use the data that they give me as being a member of my community, because you can extract data and ask them questions, to then fuel my content and my offers, because I know in advance what they are struggling with, what they'd like to learn, and more importantly, how I can actually help those folks out, right? So that was it. Works super well, still does. I just wanted to diversify, change what I'm doing, have a simple business model for where I'm at in the stage of the game, at least anyway, right? So what I would do is I would check notifications every day, who's accepted my friend requests. I would then put people into custom lists. So over here now, these are all hypotheticals. I think I did this showing some folks how to do this. But you create a list. New friends. Who are your new friends, right? Now, your new friends, these are top of your funnel. So these are the tops. And all you need to do is get in front of them, right? So I'm just going to pick on someone. I'm going to go with Daniel. He's not active on Facebook that much at the moment. I think he's over on Threads. But as an example, now all I would do, great name, awesome. So what I would do is I would just go through, right-click, new tab, and this will take, once you get into the flow of things, it takes like 5 seconds, right? Now, there should be, create a list. That's the thing, how you do it down there, create a list, right? But for the time being, I've got Daniel. He's got no posts available. Oh, that's because I think he completely dismantled being on Facebook altogether, right? But let's assume that he had posts. As a bad example, he doesn't have posts, but let's assume that he does. Then I would go through, and especially if they're recent and relevant, okay? The two rules you want to follow, recent and relevant. If it's like last post was 2018, don't be a weirdo and just start clicking away and liking shit. Like, don't do that. Just make sure that they're recent and relevant. If they're completely irrelevant, like, my cat just died, and you're that's top of funnel, and you're like trying to engage, don't do that, right? Just use your discretion when it comes to this stuff. Now, we got over here, Jamie. Okay, is it a pinned post? Yes, it is. January 3rd, so not super active at the moment. Okay, so again, is it relevant or recent? It's relevant to me. It's online business stuff. Is it recent? Not really. I mean, I could probably get away with giving that a bit of a tickle, but it's clearly not like smashing it that much on Facebook, at least anyway. Looks like I have given it a bit of a tickle before, right? And so therefore, okay, well, that's a bad example. Okay, who else we got? Ethan. that you, my friend? You see where I'm going with this stuff? You just go through and you basically, whoa, that's crazy. America. Yesterday, okay, what's this one? So someone's tagged them. That's not relevant at all. What's this dude up to? That was good. Write emails for online brands. Cool. Another gym. Cool. Good on you, man. Relevant. No, sorry, recent. Is it relevant? Yeah, you write stuff. Cool. Have a great weekend. Blah blah. So therefore, I would go. It's fine. Pretty relevant. Pretty recent. Okay. What I would typically do is if I'm not recording, I would spend some time writing a relevant comment. That's a really great, I'd read it, of course, and I'd go through, that's a great example you've given there, blah, blah, couldn't agree more. I think it's great to make sure that, do this, that, and the other thing, make sure that whatever it is, right? And so therefore, what's going to happen is over time, these people are going to get on my radar. They're going to start seeing more and more of my content. Now, if hypothetically the conversation evolves, right? Now, none of these are, this was a hypothetical list I put together a little while back, right? So I'm just saying, but if I happen to engage in this stuff over the course of a week, and I've had maybe 3 to 5 times where they've popped up on my radar, I have started to engage in some of their content, they will start to mentally acknowledge that I exist, right? So they might even see some of my content, right? Real simple. It's none of this is like, brain surgery stuff here, right? Then if you happen to DM them like, hey, just want to say it's awesome to be connected. Great to have you in my network. By the way, really love that post you put up about the Harley. Got to know, out of curiosity, the photo on your cover with all the weaponry. What's going on there? Ha, ha, ha. Bang, establish rapport. It doesn't need to be a freaking sales pitch every single time, right? But let's say, for example, they start engaging in some of your content. Maybe you put up a post and they raise their hand. They say, yep, you know what? I would like to get some information on that free thing that you just decided to give away. Then you could add them to the hot prospects thing, right? Again, these are all hypotheticals. These aren't actual hot prospects. This is a thing that I created for a training I did. So Dave, not hot Dave. I'm sorry, Dave, if you end up watching this. Dave's my buddy. But Dave, if I was to want to make sure that I am on his radar, then I would put more effort on the hot prospects, because guess what? They are not just top of funnel anymore. They've moved down. They're maybe middle and even bottom. How do you define the difference? I mean, it's subjective, right? But basically, there's a warmth there. They're a warm audience. So they're middle. You don't know where they're at. Maybe they're not looking to buy anything, so they'd be in the middle. Maybe they've expressed, actually, yeah, I'm thinking about this. Okay, cool. They're at the bottom of the funnel. But of course, you want to make sure that these people remain on your radar. So what do? Again, right click. Is there anything relevant and recent there? Not at the moment. That's it, right? And then you just go through that. And in doing so, it's just really simple. If you want to get rid of them, bang, you move them. That, hey, I'm not actually looking to do any online marketing stuff. Hey, completely cool. Bang, you're off my hot prospects list. You don't need to follow up anymore, right? And all you're doing is you add more into this, and you start to retrain the algorithm to show you content from these people until they either buy or disappear, right? And then, of course, we've got a CRM that's even better. I don't have one at the moment. I've sort of deviated away from that because I'm not doing the DMs to the same degree. But that's how you do it. That's how you get in front of folks. Now, you combine them. So that's very hyper-targeted. Now, this will take you like literally 5-10 minutes a day. It's not a huge task. What you can also do, 2 ways I do it. Oh, cute. I'll just go with that girl. Bless her. She's really sweet. I'll leave a comment. Because Shay's nice. And she's just getting over cancer. Congrats. Looks awesome. Smiley face. Cool. Right. So, spend 5, 10, 15 minutes doing this. That does look interesting. If there's no engagement, sometimes I don't bother about putting a comment, right? Because it's still an acknowledgement. They'll still see my name popping up. Truth about affiliate marketing, why I never gave up. I feel you, man. Feel you, bro. I think a lot of us have been there. Again, I would probably spend time reading that, and I would leave a relevant comment for the sake of this recording. I'm not going to. John. Love it. Right, so sometimes I do throwaway comments like that. Sometimes I'm a little bit more thought out. 6 into that. Not for this one. Man, what are you munching, bro? Part of his membership. Good dude. Very, very knowledgeable. Fake relationship sales. Right, I'm not selling relationships, not really related to me. Oh, could be chicken. Cute. Right, and again, all you do, so this would, like, honestly, once you're in motion with it, it takes like 5 or 10 minutes a day to do. It's not a huge task, right? And that's it. Basically, what happens is the way that I think about it is Facebook or any platform, they actually all work pretty much the same way, right? They want to keep you on the platform and they want to keep you engaged. They want you to spend time consuming stuff and engaging in stuff. And the way that I think about it is if this is a topographical map, right? So I'm looking down on this map and all my prospects, there's an army of them and they're all moving through across the top of this map in this hypothetical land. And every time I'm leaving a comment on someone's post that's relevant and recent, I'm effectively planting a new flag into this land. I'm marking territory in this land, basically. Now, what happens is when your army of prospects walking through this land and they start to see the flags, some of them are going to start to see more of your content. So some of them will reciprocate. They will add their own comment to your post. Now, of course, likes aren't loot. It's not going to automatically translate into sales. What it does give you, however, is visibility. Now, I can categorically tell you that if I've got 200 comments per post and I put out an offer, I know I'm going to get floods of DMs if it's to the right audience because I've spent that time building up that equity within my audience, right? So even if that's the case, I'm not getting a ton of engagement. That's fine too, because as long as I am getting in front of the people that I want to get in front of, I know that will have a flow-on effect, right? So it's not necessarily related to the amount of engagement that you get. It just can help to spread your message wider, okay? And that's it. That's pretty much it. So that's how you get in front of folks. Really, really simple. Really, really simple. So go out there, deploy this, give it some time as well. It's not going to be an immediate thing. And just always concentrate on getting new blood into the top of funnel, new people, new eyeballs into your top of funnel at all times, because the more you can pour at the top, the more it's going to pour out the bottom of your funnel, right? And a lot of that just takes care of itself naturally over time with the longevity of these people being in your audience, you being able to solve problems for these people along the way. Right, so that's it. 2 things. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of this. That would be amazing. Check out, actually 3 things. Check out the training I've got below. Like I say, it's a whopping $9. If you want to really dial this stuff in, have all the files and templates and all that type of stuff for this. And last but not least, if you're interested in working together, I do have openings at the moment for my Monetise Your Tribe program. It's basically where we sit down once a week. We go through exactly what you're working on in your business. I help you refine your offer, refine your conversion process, and most importantly, get buyers and start to scale your offers. All right, if that's of interest, hit me up. DM me, MYT, or drop an MYT below. I will reach out with the details. You can check out the PDF with all the info on it and work out whether that's something that's going to help you out. All that being said, guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Hope this has helped, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.